students, as this is your third lecture of income tax. In the last lecture we had covered the topic allowances and allowances which are fully taxable. Today we are going to cover the topic allowances which are partly taxable under the head salary. Partly taxable allowances includes some special allowances which are given for official purpose and given for personal purpose. ठीक है. Allowances which are partly taxable includes travelling allowances, daily allowances, given to employee by the employer for official purpose, convenience allowance, helper allowance, academic allowance, and uniform allowance. Partly taxable allowances include travelling allowances. In case if an employee asks to employer that please provide him travelling allowances as he spent a lot of expenditure for his travelling, so he demanded allowances along with the basic salary from his employer. Daily allowances for meeting out his daily expenses, convenience allowance for coming back to home and from going home to office, helper allowance, academic allowance and uniform allowance. The employer asks for all these allowances from his employer, and these all expenses are exempt to the extent of amount received. These all expenses are exempt to the extent amount received, or we can say that actual allowance received. Second, actual amount spent for the purpose of duties of office or employment. For example, if an employee receives travelling allowances from his employer, like travelling allowance is rupees 5,000 given by the employer, or rupees 500 given by the employer to employee, and amount spent by employee is rupees 600. Then exemption is given like travelling allowance is rupees 500. Now we can see कितनी exemption मिलेगी हमें, to the extent of amount received or actual amount or actual allowance received. Actual allowance received by us is ₹500 and actual amount spent is ₹600. दोनों में से हम क्या लेंगे? विच एवर इज लेस. अमाउंट एक्चुअली received or spent, whichever is less. So amount actual received is less here, so exemption भी उतनी ही अमाउंट की हमें मिल जाएगी, यानी कि जितना हमारा ट्रैवलिंग अलाउंस हमने एक्चुअली रिसीव किया था और हमें जितना हमने स्पेंड किया है, सॉरी, हमें अलाउंस एक्चुअली रिसीव्ड और स्पेंट में देखना था क्या कम है. अमाउंट एक्चुअली रिसीव्ड ही कम है, तो हमें उतनी एग्जेम्पशन मिल जाएगी. तो हमारे लिए यहाँ पर कुछ भी टैक्सेबल नहीं है, यानी टैक्सेबल अमाउंट इज नील. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, नेक्स्ट एग्जाम्पल विल टेक, इफ यूनिफॉर्म अलाउंस received is ₹1,000 and amount spent by employer is ₹700. In this case taxable allowance कितना हो जाएगा? यूनिफॉर्म अलाउंस आपका है कितना? यूनिफॉर्म अलाउंस आपका है ₹1000 और इन दोनों में से एग्जेम्पशन कितनी मिल जाएगी? विच एवर इज़ लेस देन माइनस एग्जेम्प्टेड लिमिट, और एग्जेम्प्टेड लिमिट दोनों में से कितनी होगी? विच एवर इज़ लेस इज़ ₹700. तो 300 in this case is taxable uniform allowance. In our next class we will discuss the allowances which are given for personal purpose. Thank you so much.